Hey everyone, and welcome to another Salt Project Community Open Hour. This one for, can you guys see? Is this your screen sharing is paused? Why? Why does this always happen? Let's try this again. Let's take another shot at this. All right, here we go. Let's go to another shot. What is going on? Try it one more. There we go. There we go. All righty, let's try this again. Welcome everyone to another Salt Project Community Open Hour. This one for July 18th. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July holiday. Those of you that are in the States and the summer vacations are going well. We've got a humdinger of an open hour here for you today. Lots and lots of people presenting today, and I couldn't be more excited about it. Let's jump right in. Here's where you can find us at Salt Project. We're all over the place. Find us on YouTube. We've got a pretty robust YouTube channel with our working group sessions in there. All of our community open hours wind up in there. There's Salt Project, or excuse me, Salt Conf breakout sessions from back in the day, which are all still relevant and great. You can find us here on YouTube, GitHub, Discord, Reddit, LinkedIn. The hacks is very, very much still a thing. Very, very popular. Thanks to all of you for checking it out. The hacks with Tom Hatch and myself. X, Facebook, Instagram, the usuals. Today happening in open hour. We're going to be talking a little bit about Bootstraps. We've got some big stuff happening with Alyssa Rock. We'll talk about that. And Derek is here. Derek Ardolf is here. He's going to give us some updates to supported operating systems, upcoming updates. So it's going to be some good stuff. Let's see. Small Project Community Open Hour. I have I guess, not so new schedule now. Happening every third Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Mountain time. Our next Salt Project Community Open Hour is going to be on August 15th. Make sure you're there. And in the meantime, we'd like to encourage you to join a Salt Project working group. We've got a bunch of them. See Shane Lee. Shane Lee, go ahead and wave your hand there, Shane. Shane is a working group captain. David Murphy, raise your hand there. David Murphy. David Murphy is a working group captain. He's not raising his hand, but he's a captain. Just there he goes. He's a captain just the same. We've got a bunch of really cool working groups: security working group, formulas, extensions, Windows, all kinds of good stuff, and we highly encourage you. We need your help, quite frankly. So the working groups is a great place to contribute. As promised, I'm very proud of this, by the way. I've created a QR code after weeks. I'm just going to sit. I'm just going to sit and hold it here for a second. For those of you that are watching on YouTube and you want to join our Discord server, thank you, Shane. I see Shane. He's testing it out. Believe me, I've already had Derek test it. We've all tested it to make sure that it works.
Why does it send me to an alt-right website?
Why is it so dark?
Why is it so dark? I don't even know what that means, Murph.
It's like not bright or anything on my screen. It's
don't do that. Don't do that to me. Just stop. Yeah, don't say that. All right. Anyway, look, everybody, use your Discord. Use your QR code to join Discord, will you? And we'd love to have you in there. There's a lot of I've talked to a lot of people this week who have said, "Hey, look, I want to get started with Salt. I've got a lot going on, and I'm switching from Ansible, or I'm using Terraform and Ansible, and I've realized that Salt is really the answer here. Where can I learn more? Where can I get up to speed quickly?" Of course, the answer is Discord. Just hop on Discord. You've got the core team guys in there. You've got geniuses like Max Arnold in there all the time that are more than willing to help you out. So if you're watching this postmortem on YouTube, I highly recommend you zap the QR code there. Is that what you do? Do you zap it? Is that what the kids say? You zap the QR code and get started in Discord right away. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, David Murphy. So let's talk about David Murphy for a second. He's my favorite Irishman, number one. Number two, he's an incredible engineer, very, very gifted engineer. And as good as he is at doing the engineer thing, he's an even better photographer, as you can tell from his backdrop there. Very gifted photographer in his own right. Murph, you got something happening with Bootstraps? What's going on?
Yeah, apart from the smoke being blown. So basically, Bootstrap has been upgraded, and a lot of the cruft that used to be in it has been cleared out. The current stable release was just this morning. Today's the 18th, and the README got updated because the number of people were going, wait, this thing isn't supporting it. It's basically, we've dropped in the Bootstrap script support for anything prior to 3006. the Wonder architecture. The old classic packages, if you need to install them, please go get a version of Bootstrap that predates July of this year. And it should work with most of them. We've added support for Amazon 2023, Debian 12, Ubuntu 24.4, ARM, and our Arch 64, Arch 64. Take your pick on how you like what you want to call ARM, but that now works. And so we have ARM variants in with Wonder architecture for all of the operating systems. And one of the reasons for cleaning up Bootstrap is there were things in there like support for Wheezy, that's Debian 7, which is long dead. 8, 9, we dropped support for Red Hat 7 and Debian 10, which end-of-lifed June 30th. And we also dropped support for Solaris and BSD, since we're not building for Solaris or BSD anymore. And so we don't really have Salt that we're releasing for it, supporting those platforms. Therefore, it doesn't make sense for us to add stuff for bootstrapping into those platforms, since we're not building Salt for those platforms. Ever since Kieran left, we use a BSD maintainer. He made sure we were on the straight and narrow with BSD, but that's some time ago, good few years at this point. And so the decision was, rather than to keep things complicated, to just drop the support if need be. You can always go back and use one of the older versions of the Bootstrap script to support those. And then Salt versions that are end of life, which are basically 3005 and younger, and older variants. And we dropped support for them because we wanted to make everything Wonder, makes it easier for testing. For example, like if we're testing on RHEL 8, that's Python 3.6. Python 3.7 is even end of life at this point. Having to worry about the classic packages and dependencies and support just doesn't make sense for us to put all our efforts, especially since the Broadcom purchase, when we have reduced team. There's only so much we could do. And so we decided we'd support Wonder and stuff going forward, because that's a way to test on platforms where the Python is ancient and all of the dependencies that we know about. And that was one of the prime reasons for getting rid of Salt versions that are end of life. The other thing that didn't occur with the Bootstrap that we were trying to do was to get it moved off Kitchen, so that it was using GitHub Actions. But there were a few people who put in issues like, just get it done already kind of thing, that we decided we'd hold off on doing the Kitchen stuff, get the changes in with Kitchen being used so that we could get it out quicker. And that's what we did. So at some point in the future, this thing's going to move to GitHub Actions for the infrastructure and pulling up the Docker containers. But for now, we're sticking with Kitchen as time allows. I think the Salt extensions is going to be more important. And so that'll probably be the focus. And we'll probably go back to fixing Kitchen when Ruby drops support for the old version of Ruby's that we're using. And that's it for Bootstrap.
Thank you, Murph. Thank you very much for taking the time to do that. And no blowing smoke, man. He's truly gifted. Not blowing smoke at all. So thank you, David Murphy. Next up here on Salt Project Community Open Hour, I want to say a very heartfelt thank you to a dear friend of all of ours. Alyssa Rock has been right at my side the entire time I've been the Salt Project Community Manager. She's been an incredible help. She is also the docs writer. She is primarily the docs writer, we should say, and an excellent docs writer at that. The work she has done here at Salt has been phenomenal. And she has played a major role in Salt Project becoming what it is and what it will be going forward in the future. She was the mind behind the Salt Project Community Code of Conduct, excuse me, and several other community-facing initiatives that we have worked on here at Salt Project. And she has decided to move on. She's taking another job at at a company called Cribble. I hope I can say that, Alyssa. It's a little too late now, but
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You can say that.
She received an incredible opportunity with a great company in Utah. And not only is it a great company, she's going to be working directly with her mentor. So a huge opportunity for her. But all is not lost. Even though Alyssa is going to be moving on from her role at Broadcom, you are going to stay involved with the community, are you not? So you'll still be here. You're still going to be here helping us out and working with the community. And I just wanted to take a minute, even though you're still going to be around in a different capacity, and just personally say thank you on behalf of myself and everybody in the Salt Core team and everyone that works on the extended Salt teams, the Salt Enterprise teams, and so on and so forth. To thank you for all the great work you've done. So a round of applause for Alyssa Rock. Thank you so much. Well done. Job well done, Alyssa. My very first day of being the Salt Project community manager, she came in and said, "Hey, I'm going to be your lieutenant. You can thank me later." and she was exactly that, and saved my butt more times than I can count. So thank you, Alyssa. It's much appreciated. If you'd be willing, we do have stuff happening with you, right? There's stuff still going on. You're still going to be here in open hour. Tell us what you're working on.
Yeah, no worries. So even though I'm leaving Broadcom, I still plan to remain active in the SALT project, and I'll definitely be available on Discord. And one of the reasons why I'll continue to be active in the project is because I actually have an ongoing project that I'm working on through my other open source project, the Good Docs project. We're working on an initiative in partnership with SALT Project. So just to give you a little background on it, I think if you might recall from last year where we did the user personas initiative, where I worked with Eileen from the Good Docs project, and together Eileen and I did a series of interviews with about 12 community members from varying walks of life and roles and levels of experience with SALT, and learned a lot about what their experience has been with SALT, where their pain points were, what they wanted to get out of SALT and things like that. And from there, we built the user personas. So that was a really great project that I worked on with Eileen. And now we want to continue. So the reason why we were doing it with the Good Docs project is because we then used that experience to build a user personas template. Because that's what the Good Docs project does. They build templates for common types of documentation that you might need. So now we're working on a new project to create a template for user journeys. So now I'm working with Eileen again and a new contributor named Deirdre, who we're going to work on an initiative to create user journeys for SALT Project. Because we find that when we give our community members some firsthand practical experience working with a real project, that we get way higher quality templates out of them. So what we're going to be doing this time, this is kind of like riffing a little bit off of an idea that Wayne Werner had. He used to call it choose your own adventure. But the idea is that we will probably do some research, maybe some additional interviews if we need, and begin to map out some different user journeys through the SALT documentation. So say I'm a new user coming from Ansible. What do I need to know in order to navigate through the SALT documentation or the videos or things like that? What's my learning path to get through the documentation to success with, coming from that background? So that's kind of what we're hoping to do with the project. Again, this is an open source community, and so is the Good Docs project. So there's no reason for me to step away from that project, even though I'm stepping away from Broadcom. So I'm working with Deirdre and Eileen. We'll come up with some more plans for how we want to go about doing this project. But yeah, I'll still remain engaged and in contact with the core team to coordinate this project, and it should be good. So yeah, last thing before I hand the mic back to Chunga, I just want to thank this community for all the support that you've given me. It's been a great community to be a part of, and I really appreciate the core SALT team. And sad to leave you all, just moving on to a new opportunity. So thanks so much. You are on mute.
You're on mute, yeah.
That was like the best part of the whole thing, too.
Oh, man.
No, I was saying thank you, Alyssa. It's awesome that we still get to have you be a part of the community and working on great projects and helping us out in the way that you're going to continue to help us out. The personas they're ever changing. They're always in motion, and the minute we get the user personas sorted out, they're all out of whack again. So I really appreciate it. Speaking of help, we want you. We've talked about this on the past couple of Salt Project Community Open Hours to be a Salt Project Community core maintainer. Shout out to Melissa Strong, who is on the call. She was not at the last open hour. She's been working with, she is our first community core maintainer. And I think it's going pretty well. I haven't heard otherwise, so I assume that it's going great and that Melissa is learning a lot and contributing a lot. We would also like to bring in more individuals to the Salt Project Community Core Maintainer team. I've heard from many, many people about this. Unfortunately, we've hit a little bit of a snag. Literally every single person I've talked to about the Salt Project Community Core Maintainer program, literally every single person has actually been a company where I've had a team of people from a particular company or a team of people from a particular organization. Groups are coming in and saying, hey, we want to be Salt Project Community Core Maintainers. Thank you very much for the interest. However, this is a program that we're looking for individuals. We're not looking for whole teams of people, whole groups of people. I've got a bunch of these different groups that I'm going to have to respond to and talk about. Again, very grateful for the interest, but we are looking for singular individuals to participate in this program. So for those of you that would like to be a part of this program, we'd love to have you. Pick someone from your group, initiate someone, have someone come in from your org or from your team to express interest in this, and we'll put that individual right in. So again, if you have any interest in becoming a Salt Project Community Core Maintainer, you're going to work directly with the Salt Project Core team. Very talented people and gifted photographers, might I add. Very, very talented people, and we're very excited to have you on board. So just send me a message, jimmy.chunga@broadcom.com, or you can also hit me on Discord. Remember that QR code? Just go back and hit that QR code. You can find me right there in Discord, and we'll get you on your way. So again, thank you to the multitude of groups that have reached out about this. Really, really appreciate it, and hopefully we can talk to you more about it in the future. Next up, Derek Ardolf. This is you're talking about operating supported operating systems. These are upcoming features, are they not, Derek? Help me out with this.
So, well, actually, this is more of a recap. It's a few things.
Okay.
One is that this year there's been a variety of operating systems that have been deprecated or that are end of life. And so that would mean that new builds of Salt are no longer going to be built for those operating systems. And that includes CentOS 7, CentOS Stream 8, Debian 10, Photon OS 3. We also had FreeBSD listed as officially supported in our install guide, but that has really been community supported for a bit. So we're changing just some wording here. In the meantime, though, there have been newly supported operating systems with Rocky Linux 8, Rocky Linux 9. I don't have Ubuntu 24.04 listed here, but I should. There's going to be more details when we have a blog post done that will pretty much recap all of this, in addition to updating our Salt supported operating systems page. And I see, Jace, you mentioned the Alma Linux. Alma Linux is listed as supported. The only difference now is that Rocky Linux is kind of our first-class citizen here, where it's going to be in our CI/CD, while Alma Linux will not anymore. So Alma Linux will still be supported to have Salt running on it, but it's not included in any of our CI/CD. And so for a fully tested operating system, the Rocky Linux is what we're having in our the full test suite. Yeah. But yeah, there'll be a blog post with full details sometime this month, in addition to updating what we have on the supported operating systems pages. Whenever that next Salt LTS release comes out, that's why when the next Salt LTS, the 3006 point release will come out, it will not have builds for CentOS 7, CentOS Stream 8, etc. But it should for Ubuntu 24.04. And the Rocky Linux ones, really, it's the same path as you're used to with rel-based installs. And so that's kind of the big recap of what's going on. If you are right now, Ubuntu 24.04, for example, does have builds out for 3007, the latest 3007 point release, but we just hadn't had an LTS release out yet that includes an official build. So that's kind of the main summary of what's going on with this year and recently when it comes to operating systems that have been dropped and operating systems that have been introduced.
All right, very good. Derek Ardolf. Thank you very much, sir. And by the way, I don't know if it's visible to everyone, but I'm pretty sure Shane just played Eruption on the guitar. Based on where his hands were, I'm pretty sure that was Eruption from Edward Van Halen. Let's see here. Next. Q&A, just in time, Q&A. Let's, my first question, was that Eruption, Shane? Were you playing Eruption?
No, but it was Jump. The same band.
Hey, I got close, right? Not too shabby, Chunga, not too shabby. Okay, so questions, Q&A time. I don't see Nick here this week, and I don't see Hunter. No Gary Geeson, so it's got to fall to somebody else. Who else wants the time? Jace? What do you think, Max? Any takers on the Q&A? No Q&A today.
Oh, actually, can I go back to Derek's last comments about the dropped OS support?
Absolutely, can go for it.
So, Derek, I just didn't catch. You said 3006.9 will not include support, will not include those OSs that were listed on the slide will not have a 3006.9 release, right?
Yeah, at least when it comes to those deprecated operating systems of CentOS 7, Stream 8. Well, okay. Well, keep in mind that there still will be a Red Hat 8 based release. It's just that CentOS Stream 8, because that's end of life, it's no longer part of our CI/CD infrastructure. So that would be the only caveat there.
Okay, perfect. That's all I wanted to confirm. Thanks.
Totally, yeah.
All right, anybody else?
Yeah, just to
No? Kathy?
just to emphasize Ken's the point, Ken. Rocky 8 should work on all the RHEL 8, CentOS 8, etc. All of Alma 8. We just decided to go with Rocky Linux because it seemed to be the one that was going to be closest to whatever Red Hat was releasing. We've noticed a few differences in Alma Linux and what they stated their future directions were, which is why we picked Rocky. And we came across Stream 8 being end of life when we're doing the Bootstrap. It was like, I was having problems getting Stream 8 to work. Why isn't the Docker thing working? I'm running into these curl issues. I'm just like, oh, it's end of life last week. Right, great. That explains why the Docker wasn't working. So that got deprecated too.
Awesome. Thanks for the clarification, David.
Just real quick, I want to give a shout out to Max Arnold. Nick Arone and Nick is on the call here. Hey, Nick, shout out to Nick. Nick and I were on a call with some enterprise folks, and they were very, very interested, Tanzu division enterprise folks, and they were very interested in Salt and making the switch to Salt and the capabilities of Salt. And somebody blurted out, oh yeah, there's a great site that's run by Max Arnold if you want to learn Salt. This guy knows everything. So I want to give Max a shout out that some of our folks at Tanzu had already figured you out, man, because of your great work. So shout out to Max Arnold. And want to give a shout out to Felipe Burke for bringing the energy to the open hour today. If there's nothing else. Yes.
Big energy.
Salt.tips. Yeah, big energy. Thank you, Felipe. Yeah, Salt.tips is the site.
Thank you.
Yeah, you betcha. If you haven't been there yet, and you're watching this live now or on YouTube, go check it out. It's a font of information about Salt, and Max does a fantastic job there. So if there will be nothing else, are there no more questions?
Yep, I've got a quick question.
Oh, Tom, yeah,
can you
go for it.
Could you tell me the status of Salt support for Python 3.12?
I'm sorry, say
Was
that
on,
one more time.
But
Could you tell me the status of Python 3.12?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can speak to that. We are currently working on it, but I do not have a timeline for which release it will go into yet.
Cool. Another issue I'm seeing is we've got a fleet of like 20,000 machines, and we're using sysctl.present to modify sysctls, and occasionally we're seeing corruption of the file we specifying for the where to keep those sysctls. Has anyone else seen anything like that, or how best do I raise an issue without reliable reproduction?
You can create an issue, a GitHub issue, and we'll try to reproduce it if we can. If you can't reliably reproduce it, at least create the issue so we can track the problem. Maybe someone else from the community can chime in. Maybe they've seen it. Maybe they have a way to reproduce it.
Sure, thanks. I'll work on that today.
Thanks.
All righty. Anybody else? Questions going once, going twice. Shane, I'm just going to defer to you. We can get the solo from Jump, or you can play us out with a joke. It's up to you.
Well, I heard that Trump got a new truck. It was a Dodge.
Too soon, man. Too soon, man. All right, there you go. Shane Lee, everybody. All right, if there's nothing else, we're going to call it for this one again. The next one will be August 15th. All right. Thanks, everybody, for checking out Open Hour. Be sure to go to Discord for any future questions you may have, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.